Hello, my friends, it's Danny, and here we are, the day after Thanksgiving, officially immersed in the holiday season. And as much as I love the holidays, and I truly love the holidays, I know that for anybody working on health, wellness, or weight loss goals, they can feel a bit stressful and maybe even create a little bit of anxiety. I mean, truthfully speaking, even if you're not working on any goals, they can be a bit stressful and create a bit of anxiety. There's a lot of parties, there's a lot of socializing, we see lots of friends, lots of family, there's cookies, there's wine, there's all of the things. So how can we create a mindset throughout the holidays so that we don't end up feeling guilty or feeling shame around our food choices, that we don't end up overdoing it so that we feel bloated and heavy, and that we also don't slip into an all or nothing way of thinking that's going to rob us of feeling clear and energized when New Year starts. So I'm going to share 5 simple tips to help you create a healthy mindset around food throughout the holiday season. Number 1. Don't aim for perfection. Remember, all or nothing thinking never works. It will let you down every single time. So you don't want to go into the holidays with super tight rules and restrictions. There's absolutely nothing wrong with setting up some goals and intentions for yourself. Just make sure that you're doing it in a way that's realistic and that you're actually going to be able to align with. You want to create a plan for yourself that's not going to leave you feeling restricted and deprived. Not only is this going to help you to feel more empowered around your food choices, but you will also be less likely to overindulge or to have a binge breakdown than you would if you set really strict goals for yourself that you couldn't reach. And you know, a little side note here around goals, I think whenever you're setting a goal for yourself, we really need to set the bar low, because what happens is people set goals for themselves and they set these really high, lofty goals that are very difficult, if not impossible, to achieve, right? Because if you think about it, change is all about baby steps, right? It's one little step after another over a long period of time. So I say set the bar low and create a goal that you know that you can achieve, because half of the practice of setting goals is learning how to keep our word to ourselves, right? Learning how to stay committed to ourselves. So create a goal that you know you can achieve. So not only do you achieve the goal, but you build this practice of keeping your word to yourself. And in the long run, each of those little baby goals leads to the bigger goal. Right? So go into the holidays, set a goal, set an intention. Just don't be too lofty, don't be too strict, and by all means, don't create a negative environment for yourself throughout the holiday season. Number 2, the pleasure principle. Most holiday foods have one sole purpose, and that is to bring you pleasure. They are not there, we're not eating them because of their vitamins and their minerals and their antioxidants. We're eating them because they taste really good, and oftentimes because somebody that we love made that food. So when you're eating holiday foods, the most important thing that you need to keep in mind, right? When you're eating food that's designed solely to give you pleasure, your job is to receive the pleasure that that food is offering you. And you cannot receive the pleasure from any food if you're in your head feeling guilty or having shame or spinning around or checking out from the eating experience, right? In order to really receive pleasure from any food that we're eating, we have to be present with that food, we have to smell the food, we have to taste the food, chew the food, savor the food, really allow it to touch all of your taste buds and garner all of those sensations and enjoy what you're eating. Think about it like this. When you make pleasure the priority, it becomes very difficult to overeat because overeating is not pleasurable. So stay present with your food choices throughout the holidays. Give yourself permission to enjoy what you're going to enjoy. Remember that food is there to serve you and to bring you pleasure. So eat it until you've received the pleasure and then be done. Tip number 3 plays off of tip number 2, and that is enjoy what you enjoy and leave the rest behind, right? During the holidays, there is such an abundance of delicious food. There's appetizers and there's cocktails and there's cookies and desserts and you name it, right? All of the things are available to us. So what we really want to do is pause and choose the foods that you would really want to eat, that you really look forward to, and then leave the rest behind. What we don't want to do is slip into a mindless space where we're just eating all of the things just because they're in front of us. Because A, this is not pleasurable. And B, when we're eating all of the things just because they're there or just because they're in front of us, that's not really enjoyable, right? We're not actually receiving the pleasure from the food when we're going into that eat everything just because it's there mindset. And so what happens is the brain is not getting that signal of I've received the pleasure. And so no matter what you eat or how much you eat, the brain is going to say more, right? So it's that feeling like you're a bottomless pit and you're completely unsatisfied and you're full. So that is a road that we don't want to go down. You really want to think about, what would I enjoy here? And then give yourself permission to enjoy those things and leave the rest behind. We don't need to eat all the things just because they're in the room, right? Sometimes it can be tempting. I do relate. But we want to enjoy this experience. So take that pleasure principle, put it at the top of your mind, and then take the time to choose what you want to enjoy. And just a side note, that kind of mindless, eat everything in the room experience is often prompted by initially setting unrealistic expectations for yourself. Not always, but often. So if this is something you struggle with or you can relate to, take it back to number 1 and reset your intentions. Tip number 4, take advantage of Homebase. As busy as the holiday season can be, most of us have the opportunity to eat at least one meal a day at home, if not more. So use that time to really kick up your self-care and your self-love and make something that's super nourishing and delicious for yourself, that's going to give you energy and help you sustain yourself during this hectic holiday season, right? So maybe doing something simple like making a green smoothie for breakfast where you're getting a lot of feel-good foods and nutrients into your meal. Or taking a couple hours on the weekend to meal prep some simple vegetables or whole grains so you can easily build a power bowl or a Buddha bowl, right? When you want a really fast lunch or a really fast dinner throughout the week. Taking a little extra time to take really amazing care of yourself at home can help you create a little bit of balance throughout the holiday season. So I am going to link to a couple really simple recipe ideas down in the description box below to help you do just that. And tip number 5 is a great practice not only through the holidays, but through life in general, and that is to practice forgiveness. Even with the best of intentions, we are all human beings. And sometimes, no matter what you try to do, friends and family and wine and cookies win. We're all gonna have those days, we're all gonna have those moments. And to that I say, can it just be okay? Yes, sometimes it's a beautiful opportunity to reflect back and think, what could I have done differently there? What would I like to do differently in that situation in the future? And other times you just gotta let it be. You just gotta say, it was what it was, I enjoyed myself, I had a good time, and onward we move, right? But whichever of these avenues you choose, the first thing that needs to happen is you have to give a little bit of grace to yourself. You have to forgive yourself for whatever you ate or whatever you did, right? Because when we don't, and we slip into that mentality of kicking ourselves or being hard on ourselves or going into a critical line of thinking inside our mind, that actually keeps us stuck and perpetuating the same bad habits. So if you really want to practice a more nourishing, loving relationship with yourself and food, forgiveness is an ongoing practice, because no matter what you're working on, you will not always be perfect. It will not always be linear, and there's going to be tons of slip-ups. And the quicker you can recover and let it go, the quicker you will move forward and the better you will feel, which, my friends, is a very healthy way to be. Remember that ultimately, holidays are just a blip on the screen when you zoom out and look at the entire year. So you don't want to miss what the holidays are supposed to be about because you're too busy obsessing about your food, right? We're supposed to be focusing on our friends and our families, giving back to our communities and to people who are less fortunate, and really slowing things down to enjoy that space. Yes, keep your health goals in mind, stay intentional, stay mindful, stay conscious, but don't get rigid and don't get fanatic. Stay open, stay fluid, maybe let the holidays guide you a little bit instead of you trying to control them the whole time, and see if that helps you to enjoy the holidays a little bit more and helps you relax a little bit with your health and wellness goals as well. So I hope that one, if not more, of those tips resonated for you and that you found them helpful. I would love for you to add to this conversation. If you have any tips that have worked for you or any ideas, please come down to the comment section below and share them. Or if you have any questions, that's the place to leave them as well. Thank you all so much for watching. Let's enjoy this holiday season, and I will see you back here next time with some more food for thought. Cheers.